Coming up, selling illegal DVDs puts a Valdosta man in jail.
And firefighters are learning new technology that will better their response time.
We'll take a look at your local weather forecast with Fallon's Damage while Shelby Mitchell gives us a local sports.
Your News Valdosta starts now. Welcome to News Valdosta. I'm Courtney Chickus.
And I'm Monica Alexander. State police are waiting for blood test results for a college student killed Monday.
A shooting in a local neighborhood might have started from a text message.
Georgia State Patrol are waiting for official blood tests in the highway death of a Valdosta State student, but says drugs and alcohol do not appear to be a factor. 19-year-old Marcus Holmes was hit early Monday morning by a UPS truck on I-75. Holmes was a student at Valdosta State University. Georgia State Patrol said Holmes walked onto the interstate wearing dark-colored clothing and was struck while heading north. The truck driver was unable to avoid hitting the teenager, and there was no indication of alcohol or toxins in his body. State Patrol officials say it will take about a month to get the toxicology test results for Holmes.
A former Valdosta church volunteer is being charged with molesting children and was sentenced to 15 years behind bars. 29-year-old Kenneth Leonard was sentenced by Southern Circuit Judge James Hardy to 15 years in prison and then a remaining 25 years of probation. Leonard was charged with sexual battery and child molestation involving 5 teenagers. The victims were between the ages of 15 and 18 and met Leonard through a local area church. According to the Valdosta police, the church is not responsible for these incidents.
Valdosta police are looking for a 21-year-old man they said fired shots outside a home at the Forest Meadows subdivision. Police say the shooting came after an argument between the man and his girlfriend over text messages on her phone. Charles Powell kicked down the door where Jasmine Miller lived. The two then argued outside, where Powell fired multiple shots at the house where their 2-month-old baby was sleeping. However, police say the baby wasn't harmed in the outrage. If you have any information about where Powell may be, the Valdosta police want you to call them.
A Valdosta man is in jail today accused of illegally reproducing thousands of copyright movies. Investigators say he ran a movie store right outside of his home, selling and renting almost any type of movie you could want. 10,000 illegally copied DVDs and duplication equipment are now evidence at the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office. 33-year-old Robert Mitchell faces multiple charges. Officials say that Mitchell used this operation as his main source of income. Mitchell faces 6 charges of illegal production of copyrighted materials.
The Georgia Department of Labor reported today that Georgia's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate dropped to 8.7%. That's down 0.1% since July. The reason? Economists say wasn't a significant reduction in jobs for the period.
Contractors in Albany are trying to rezone land off Dawson Road to bring in a home-run food store and a Dunkin' Donut shop. Current business owners in the strip mall have a plan in case they have to move. The owners of Two Chicks say they were surprised by the news but look forward to this opportunity of expanding their business. One of the owners say they have been there almost 2 years and have been really happy with the location, but changes could be good and they're looking forward to a new beginning if the rezoning is approved.
A grant that allowed a Moultrie YMCA to start an after-school program for struggling students is now coming to an end. The grant was used at the Cox Elementary School to improve students' grades and test scores. The YMCA received the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant for a 3-year program. 72 students are in the program and get 6 to 8 hours a week of tutoring. They focus on improving reading and math skills. Now that the YMCA is in its final year, its staff is working on a new application for another grant next year.
In recent weeks, there have been numerous accidents involving 18-wheelers here in Georgia. Many of the accidents involve passenger vehicles. Kenny Rogers is an instructor at Albany Technical College. He says 98% of all accidents involving 18-wheelers are because drivers don't respect the big trucks. Drivers usually slow down when approaching the semis or stop abruptly in front of them. When you see a big truck coming, slow down and be courteous. Let them get by. Rogers says that just might save a life.
The men and women who help us in a time of need are learning some new technology to better serve our community. Area firefighters met in Albany this week to become familiar with new tools for their trade. Officials say having this opportunity to see, touch, and experience new equipment is great because it not only helps us, but also helps them. Albany Fire Chief James Carswell says that when it comes to being a firefighter, you never know what tomorrow might bring. The firefighters were able to use all the new technology at the conference held in Albany on Monday.
Is your child safely buckled up in the back seat? The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has designated this week as National Child Passage Safety Week. Car crashes are the leading cause of death or injuries for children aged 1 to 13 years old, and experts say many of those deaths can be prevented. A lot of car injuries can be prevented if children are properly put in the car seat. The NHTSA recommends keeping infants in the back seat and the rear-facing child safety seat until they reach 1 year old and weigh 20 pounds. For more information about protecting your child on the road, contact your local law enforcement agency. Still to come, breakfast might be the reason why some live longer than others.
And large class sizes might be the reason students are failing exams.
Plus, your local weather forecast and sports updates. All this and more when we come back. Stay with us.
I got my MBA online at VSU. As a working mom who travels on business, I needed an MBA program that fit my schedule and allowed me to balance both my work and home life. VSU's Web MBA was perfect. I was able to spend time with my family in the evenings and then complete my assignments. My MBA is one of my greatest accomplishments. It was hard work, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. Don't wait. Start your MBA today.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Welcome back. Firefighters might get the technology that will save more lives.
This new technology will be used to help them find locations easier and respond to calls faster. Are you paying too much for water? Well, people who live in a Valdosta apartment complex may be. They've been paying rent, but their landlord hasn't paid their water bill. Water service has returned to residents of the complex this week after city officials broke an agreement with the owners. Residents at the Woodstone apartment reportedly were outraged after water was shut off to the entire complex recently. The Woodlark Companies of Miami, Florida is responsible for making the utility payment of the city of Valdosta. Water services are included in monthly rent that Woodstone residents pay, but the Woodlark Companies haven't been passing that one along to the city, which finally they got fed up and turned off the taps. The shutdown lasted less than a day, though, after the city agreed to accept partial payment of the total bill. At least one of the residents say he plans to move out.
Is your child safe on the road? A recent study says that teen drivers aren't as safe as parents think. State Farm Insurance conducted a study and found that 70% of parents think teenage drivers are safe. But the insurance company says that actually only 40% of teen drivers are safe on the road. State farmers say motor vehicle accidents are the leading cause of teen fatalities in the United States. So next time your teen asks you for your keys to the car, be smart and make sure that they buckle up and won't text while driving.
Class sizes are getting bigger in Georgia's public schools. The public school class size in Georgia has increased as districts struggle with funding and tax revenue. The Atlanta, Georgia Constitution reports that 80% of Georgia's school districts allowed 180 schools to exceed a surplus class cap for classrooms. Some teachers say increased class size is a problem for educators trying to teach a more rigorous curriculum. Others say their class sizes have grown to the largest level seen in years, and that makes it difficult to form personal relationships with students. Educators say that the result of low test scores might be the result of these large classes.
Are you a breakfast eater? Well, it might just be saving your life. Skipping meals may increase your chances of a heart attack. A study showed that older men who skipped breakfast had a 27% higher rate of heart attacks than those who ate a morning meal. Experts think people who don't eat breakfast are more likely to be hungrier later in the day and eat larger meals. So you might just want to eat a bowl of cereal before you start your day.
Cardiologists practicing with South Georgia Medical Associates treat heart disease in all stages, perform heart procedures, and consult with heart surgeons. Even though they can't help patients who have already had a mild heart attack, they can't do it alone. One of the biggest causes of heart problems come from patients smoking. Doctors say anyone who smokes and wants to stop smoking should consult their personal doctor or the local health department.
Wiregrass Technical College's nursing program is in full swing this semester with plans for a new nursing program to begin soon. News Valdosta's Joseph Smith has more.
With careers in the medical field being some of the highest grossing in the country, it's no wonder that many of the students of Wiregrass Technical College can be found in the 200 wing of the campus's Berrien Hall, taking classes as part of the school's practical nursing program and learning to help a future generation of people live a happy and healthy lifestyle.
I want to join the nursing program for the job opportunities and the money and, of course, to help people.
The school's practical nursing program certainly has been pumping out several future doctors, as Program Director Jackie Spriggs explains.
We enter approximately 40 students a year. We graduate around 35 of those, so we're real proud of that statistic. Once they graduate, it is a 3-semester program. They are then eligible to sit for the Georgia Board of Nursing NCLEX test to become licensed in the state of Georgia. Once they become licensed, they can get a job in a wide variety of fields.
The school's practical nursing program has done so well over the years that it's inspired Wiregrass to begin a new associate degree program with several new opportunities for nursing majors to take advantage of. Director Darlene Ridley gave us a little more insight as to what the new nurses can expect.
These students will complete this curriculum in 5 semesters. After they complete the curriculum, they'll be able to sit for the Georgia Board of Nursing and take their NCLEX exam, which will license them as a registered nurse. They can work anywhere from a doctor's office to a hospital, dialysis center, home health. They can become a travel nurse at some time or an agency nurse. It's wide open.
The associate degree nursing program will be starting this coming January and will be accepting a class of 30 students. With your News Valdosta, I'm Joseph Smith.
When we come back, a tortoise is the reason police officers are on a hunt this morning.
And stay tuned for a look at your local weather and a sports update.
Seven 7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Welcome back to News Valdosta. A tortoise is in need of being rescued before he dies during the winter.
Don't worry, police are looking for him as we speak. Watch out, a low-speed chase is underway for a 50-pound pet tortoise that escaped from its owner this morning. Authorities say Zip, the tortoise, forced his way out of the backyard fence. Police believe the animal probably wandered off into the woods behind the home of Susan and Carrie Fisher. Susan Fisher fears that the tortoise will not survive the Georgia winter if it is not found. If you see this little fellow, call Madison County Police.
Well, the weekend is a few days away, but how is today and tomorrow looking for us? Our own Fallon has the weather. Fallon?
Thanks, Courtney. Well, we've had a beautiful sunny afternoon so far here in Valdosta. We've been expecting a high temperature of 88 degrees with a 20% chance of rain for today. Tonight probably won't be a whole lot of difference with what is expected in September. We should see a low tonight of about 66 degrees with clear skies. Tomorrow will be a lot like today, warm sunny skies for Friday the 19th. Again, we're looking for more sun with a high temperature of 90 degrees. It will be cool, and the expected temperature for that evening will be 67 degrees. But as you know, it's not just heat we need to worry about. The predicted UV index should reach a high of 9 tomorrow at solar noon. That's 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. A value of 9 means you run a very high risk of harm from unprotected exposure to the sun's rays. So it's very important not to stay in direct sunlight for too long and to wear a shirt, hat, sunglasses, and SPF of 30 plus sunscreen. As for pollen count, ragweed, chenopod's, and nettle pollen will be extremely high this weekend. If you aren't taking any antihistamines and you suffer from pollen, go see your local doctor and find out if medicine will help. And that's our local weather forecast for the midweek. Now let's go back to the news desk with Courtney and Lanika.
Coming up, when we come back, sports with Shelby Mitchell. Stay with us.
Body language. Without saying a word, it can tell you so much. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. All day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back. Let's see what our sports anchor, Shelby, has to say about sports. Shelby? Thanks, Courtney. Taking a look at your high school football, Friday night is homecoming for the Valdosta Wildcats and the Lowndes Vikings. After last week's 40-6 win over the Crisp County Cougars, the undefeated Wildcats turned their attention over to the Newton Rams in hopes to continue their winning streak. Kickoff is set for 8 p.m. in Bazemore-Hyder Stadium. Homecoming festivities will proceed during halftime. After the Lowndes Vikings redeemed themselves with a stunning 87-0 victory over Windsor Forest last week, the Vikings hope to defeat one last non-region opponent tomorrow night against the Hardway Hawks. Kickoff is set for 8 p.m. at Martin Stadium, and homecoming festivities will proceed during halftime as well. The LHS Marching Band will not perform their halftime show until after the game. All fans are encouraged to stay and watch as they prepare for their upcoming competition. In college football, the Valdosta State Blazers are back in action this weekend after their first win against Fort Valley State 36-21. The Blazers will face Shorter in their home opener of the season. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. In softball news, the Lowndes Vikettes hosted their 11th annual Vikette Invitational last weekend and walked away with a win against Sly County 8-0 and a 4-3 victory over Tattenaw County. 17 teams from the state of Georgia attended the Invitational. The Vikettes are back in action as they travel to Camden County on Saturday for a doubleheader. The first game is set to begin at 12 p.m. with the second game set for 2 p.m. Keeping the ball rolling, in soccer, the Lady Blazers face a 2-game travel schedule this weekend. Their first game will be against Delta State on Saturday beginning at 4:30 p.m., followed by another road conference match against Christian Brothers Sunday beginning at 1 p.m. The Lady Blazers will return home next Friday when they host West Alabama.
The Valdosta State women's volleyball team is in full preparation mode as they look Friday's Gulf South Conference home opener against Alabama Huntsville. Game is set to begin at 7 p.m. The Blazers will also take on North Alabama on Saturday beginning at 2:30 p.m. Both games will be held at the VSU complex. That's a look at your local sports. Back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Shelby. Up next, grab some fruit this weekend at Farm Days.
Stay with us.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now, are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
All right, listen, we all need a little nudge sometimes. I don't function without coffee in the morning, but it is going to take more than a double mochaccino to help you here.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero ir. Danny, no lo puedo hacer. Quiero ir. Danny, lo voy a hacer.
TMC, liking your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs, just keeping it real.
Louder, louder, I'm gonna get my GED, come on! Get your GED. Hey. Keep it down, brother.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
That's slow and blue. Look, he's blushing. Seriously. Okay.
Welcome back. Things have changed a lot in the last 50 years, and one of those changes has had a dramatic impact on our community.
The city and Valdosta State University marked an important date in history yesterday. Reporter Amber Worthy has the story.
This room was packed with students and faculty celebrating 50 years of integration.
September 18, 1963 was the day that the first two African American students began attending Valdosta State College. A committee was formed in January to begin planning year-long events. The kickoff event began midday with the cookout on Palms Quad. The city of Valdosta and the county issued a proclamation on this historic day in VSU history.
Therefore, I, William Slaughter, Lowndes County Board of Commissioners, Chairman, and I, John Gale, Mayor of the City of Valdosta, do hereby recognize and proclaim September 18, 2013 as Valdosta State University Celebration of Inclusion Day.
Student leaders at VSU have been excited since spring semester. William Jimerson, the Integration Celebration spokesman, told me why it is so important for the VSU community.
Event right here in particular is where all of us are coming together as students, faculty, and staff and acknowledging togetherness, that we're all together no matter what backgrounds, what heritage, what culture that we have, and that we're embracing each other and moving forward and acknowledging our pioneers.
The day ended with a reception that had a fair share of entertainment as well as a visit from the school's certified archivist. The crowd sat intently while she spoke about the history of Valdosta, South Georgia, and Valdosta State University.
The celebration will continue throughout the rest of the school year, and you can find updates on all the events on the VSU homepage as well as facebook.com/VSU50. Reporting with News Valdosta, I'm Amber Worthy.
Here's a reminder about Farm Days this weekend in downtown Valdosta. We have just a few more weeks before local farmers stop selling homegrown produce and baked goods outside the old courthouse. And don't forget that vendors will be selling arts and crafts as well. Farm Days start at 9 in the morning and continue through 1 in the afternoon on Saturday.
Thanks for watching News Valdosta. I'm Lanika Alexander.
And I'm Courtney Chickas. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.